Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you are a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Sacosio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hey guys, welcome back. It is Erica from the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to our show. If you are one of my loyal listeners, hello, I missed you guys. I know I had missed a few episodes last week. I'm so sorry. I'm usually so diligent on that. But yeah, I had a lot going on and I was sick. So thank you for reaching out. To those of you who reached out, I appreciate you so much. So we're just going to continue on some of the topics that we've been talking about in terms of connections. You know, the Childcare Director's Chair podcast is just a space for honest conversations, practical leadership strategies, and real growth in early childhood education. And today we're going to continue that conversation around team dynamics, but we're going to go a little deeper. Because once you understand your team, the next question you might have is, how do you actually strengthen those relationships in a meaningful and, more important, lasting way? So the episode today is all about intentional bonds, cultivating strong team connections, because connections isn't just about getting along. It's about creating a team that feels united, feels supported and aligned, and in purpose. And honestly, I know the last couple of years have been rough. And, if you've been around a long time, you're used to having a pretty consistent, solid team. And now things have changed a little bit in most centers as you're integrating new folks into your team. And every time you change just one or two people, it absolutely changes the culture of your program. Because again, remember, the culture is the people. It's not the policies. It's not what you think it is, not your vision board. It's not none of that. It really is the way that people function in your four walls, right? Either united or not united. It's really quite that simple. So connection is not going to happen on its own. In a childcare environment, the pace, it's nonstop. From the moment that your staff walk in the door, they're responsible for children. They're responsible for routines, communication with families, and managing their classroom. And because of that, relationships between staff often become secondary, something that just exists rather than something that's actively developed. But here's the reality. When connection is left to chance, it often stays very surface level. And over time, that lack of depth can turn miscommunication to frustration to emotional distance. And when you intentionally create opportunities for your team to connect, you're not adding more to the plate. You're actually strengthening the foundation that helps everything else run smoothly. So what does a strong team connection feel like? Well, let's think beyond what connection looks like and focus on what it feels like inside your center. Often when I go out to conferences and I do breakout sessions, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get off track for 1 second, but often when I go out and do breakout sessions or keynotes, which I'm heading to Texas in a week and a half to do the Texas Childcare Association's conference, I don't want to just teach people things. I don't want to just, give you some action steps. I want you to feel. I want you to feel we are human beings in a very heart-centered, human emotion-based business, which means you have to feel. And it's okay. It's not a sign of weakness to feel things. Deeply connected teams, they feel supported, they feel steady and safe. And that includes you as the leader. You also want to feel supported, steady, and safe. And I know I'm not wrong about that. I had done a workshop a few weeks ago about bringing joy to your program. And there were three or four people who broke down in the middle of that workshop. And they were owners like me. And, they had really been struggling. And I love that they felt so vulnerable to share that with the rest of the group. But it's okay for you to feel. So please don't think you always have to hold everything in and hide it. And, yes, we're leaders, but we're also human. So I want you to go into your place and feel good. Staff are comfortable being honest about their challenges without worrying about judgment. And that's good. And that's what you want. There's a sense of we're in this together instead of I'm on my own. You'll hear more solution-focused conversations when you have that environment where we're in it together. And you'll see more natural collaboration throughout the day. The kind of environment that doesn't just come from one team building day or a simple meeting or a trust fall activity. It's built through that repeated, shared interactions that create familiarity, that trust and mutual respect over time. And those small moments shape how your team communicates, how they solve problems, and how they support one another. And again, respect. Respect, respect, respect. Another strategy I want to share with you is building those predictable moments of connection. If you want relationships to grow, consistency matters. Instead of that, occasional team meeting or that one-on-one, which one-on-ones go really such a long way. I would say of all the strategies, giving your staff 10 to 15 minutes of uninterrupted time with you on a consistent basis, nothing moves the needle more. Nothing. Not a bonus, not a gift card, not a candle, nothing. Giving some of your time. Being present when they're giving it, not answering the phone, not looking at your scroll, like being truly present. When you do that, there's nothing better than that. Really, there truly isn't. So dependable moments where connection is part of the routine could be just really, again, something as simple, a quick morning touch point, a weekly wrap-up conversation, or just a regular moment to recognize each other's efforts. The goal is to create a space where staff can pause, where they can connect, and they can see, that they are seen beyond their daily responsibilities, not just the person who's in the room caring for the kids, but the person. When introducing this, you might say, I want us to start being more intentional about how we connect as a team. These small moments are going to help us better support each other every day. And over time, those routines create a sense of stability and belonging. One of the things that we used to do prior to COVID is we used to do potlucks. And they were really pretty successful. And the staff really enjoyed them. And, just something as simple as that, really, it can go a long way. So don't think, oh, I don't have time or I don't have big budgets. You don't need any of that. You just need intention. So create shared experiences that matter. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen relationships is through those shared experiences. Many of us have trauma bonded because the last few years have been really tough. But not just attending the same trainings, right? Do something different. Be actively engaged in something together. That might look like collaborating on a classroom improvement project, or working through a challenge as a group, or celebrating milestones as a team. These moments give the staff a chance to interact outside of their usual roles and see each other from a different perspective. And when people go through experiences like that, it builds a sense of unity. They belong to and want to be part of the team, not just individuals doing separate jobs in the shared space. And that shared identity is what creates stronger, more resilient workplace relationships. And strategy 3, use reflection as a connection tool. Reflection isn't just about improving the practice, it is about strengthening relationships. So when you give your team space to reflect together, you're encouraging them to listen, to share, to learn from one another's experiences, and of course, to feel. This builds understanding and creates more meaningful connections. So try incorporating simple, reflective questions in your routine, like, what was one moment this week that stood out to you? Or when did you feel most supported by the team? These conversations, my friends, don't need to be long, but they should be intentional. And over time, reflection helps your team become more aware, more connected, and more aligned in how they work together. Now, encourage open and ongoing communication. We talk about communication a lot, and got to remember it's both ways. Strong connections rely on communication that is both consistent and comfortable. If your team only speaks up when something's wrong, relationships will feel a bit guarded. Instead, create an environment where communication flows regularly, where appreciation, ideas, and concerns can all be shared in a respectful way. You can model this by saying, I want us to be able to talk openly, not just when there's a problem, but so we can continue to grow as a team. Just providing that simple language structures can really help staff feel more confident in speaking up. And over time, this builds a culture where communication strengthens relationships instead of straining them. Speaking of ideas, the idea of intentional connection also connects directly to something bigger, and that's supporting your team's growth and their future. Because when people feel connected, they're more engaged, more motivated, and more open to developing professionally. And that's why I'm so excited to highlight Charter Oak State College, a proud sponsor of the Early Education Empowerment Conference. And as leaders, one of our most impactful things that we can do is support our team members in their individual career paths. Whether someone is just starting out or ready to take that next step, having access to flexible online education can make all the difference. And Charter Oak offers programs that meet educators where they are, from associate's degrees to bachelor's degrees to even advanced degrees like their master's degree in curriculum and instruction, which I'm currently enrolled in. When you invest in your team's future, you're not just supporting individuals, you're strengthening your entire program. Now, leadership. As you think about your own center, consider this. Where are there opportunities to be more intentional with your connection? Not bigger, not more complicated, just more intentional. Because leadership isn't only about keeping things running. It's about creating an environment where people feel supported, valued, and connected to something meaningful. And that starts with the choices that you make every single day. So in closing, let me leave you with this. Connection is not a one-time effort. It's something you build through consistent, thoughtful actions. And when you prioritize those connections, you create a team that is stronger, more collaborative, better equipped to support children and the families that you serve. And guess what? If you have not secured your spot yet for the Early Education Empowerment Conference, this is your moment. We are nearly sold out. I can't believe it. Thank you for your love and your support. We have 3 weeks left before registration closes out. If you've been sitting on the fence, thinking about coming, especially if you're in New England, come on. This is a national conference in Rhode Island. If you are in Mass, Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, come on out. Do not wait. We're waiting for you. We want you to come join us. Come feel something. Come learn something. Come laugh, come cry, come do all the things with us at the Early Childhood Empowerment Conference. Take this opportunity to invest in your leadership and bring back those strategies that will strengthen your entire team. If you want to learn more about Charter Oak, check the link below. And as always, have a great day.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Sacoccio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.